this proposal, for this show really was born out of what, created FEMMEBIT in the first place, which is just looking at Los Angeles and all the creative people within it and all those sort of DIY sort of subcultures that seem to exist sort of outside of Hollywood, but still in relationship to it.
It was originally shot on 16mm film with an intervalometer camera, so it's time-lapse. All of it is time-lapse footage and long exposures, and so it was came up to me to think of it as a good opportunity to use this work that I've been working through for a long time and thinking about the different cycles of the city and the different ways that the stars and the planets are always cycling around the city that is also always cycling.
So much of this work that I've made for this show is like deeply personal and very much about like nostalgia and all of the places I've lived in LA. I was just thinking about the difference between the representation of LA and the reality of living there, like glamour versus grit.
And what I like about the artists in this show is that they're not necessarily reaction to Hollywood. They're sort of just navigating that space and what it's like to live there in their own personal way.
I'm wondering if this is kind of an interesting point in digital art, because I think people have been using these tools in a really dedicated way for a long time. I think everyone is kind of finding their voice, and I think that's why there are so many diverse works, is that the more you work with your medium, the more unique it looks.
It's also an ever evolving process, and Los Angeles really to me has always felt like a place that is in constant change. And my character I changed the colorization of the character. Each scene it's in a different pose and background and has a different magic animation. I'm running my computer off the grid, right? So it feels very much energized by the environment of Los Angeles.
I was thinking of creating a new character inspired by Hollywood superhero movies. A heroic woman represents its diversity and cultural tapestry, and this elderly woman embodies a different kinds of heroism, one that celebrates multiculturalism and bridges the gaps between communities in the city of Los Angeles.
I've always wanted to make something about the California poppies. I feel like they kind of represent Los Angeles in a really interesting way because once a year they bloom everywhere. This beautiful emergent bloom that happens every year that kind of defines our springtime landscape. And for me, what I love most about LA are cliches. I feel like cliches they're kind of like stereotypes. At the point they're kind of true and you just have to embrace them.
I was surprised that I thought I was gonna slow things down to get more time and more footage to work with, and then I ended up speeding things up, which I thought was funny. They are unique one-of-one video triptychs, and they're loosely based on dreams and the landscapes of California.
I just wanted to explore the juxtaposition of, the kind of stereotypical vibrant color and splashy aesthetic of Southern California and LA with the stark desert scenery just outside the city limits.
I have an animation background, so I'm always thinking in motion. And for me, it's always someone's quick reaction to something. It is their motion. It is how they respond to something that sticks with me. And something about LA's very identity, that it is because it is so open and almost like a video game, that you can be whatever you want here and nobody will bat an eye, which is really unique to LA.
something that I'm always doing in my work is constantly manipulating time as it's passing. And I think that a lot of that is like also how Los Angeles feels constantly, especially because there's no real demarcation of seasons. So I feel like Los Angeles itself is like a weird manipulated time loop.
It was so awesome to be asked to, you know, make work about my home and to do something that's actually like truly site specific, and to actually do something that maps the terrain of a place, both in memory and in physicality.
We're excited by the work, by the possibilities that really talented artists can support themselves financially on the incredible skills and artistic visions they have.
It's so good. Like together, it's such a nice tableau of digital landscape of things.
I just have this like intuitive feeling that like what this set of people are going to do is just going to work. Like I just know it's going to work.